Bananahan has to go if he doesn't start Trey. No adjustments, wasted a timeout on a dumb challenge. Frustrating. How can a team who plays in a dome outplay the Niners who came out of a bye week? Come on, Bananahan. Okay, that's Nathan. Thank you, Nathan.
Not just a team who plays in the dome. I think the thing that doesn't get stressed enough is we've given the excuse of injuries to Kyle Shanahan the last 4 years consistently. That Indianapolis Colts team is as injured as any team in football, and they lost a very good player in Julian Blackmon before the week.
That's right.
On Thursday, he tore his Achilles, and they still
No
came
T.Y.
out and
Hilton?
played like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you heard what Nathan Flores feels about Kyle. Niner fans seem to be just livid with him. You've been one of his biggest supporters. How do you feel after seeing him lose the way he lost to the Colts coming off the bye?
Yeah, I'm with where every other Niners fan is. I've been very critical of his personnel decisions. I've usually stayed away from criticizing play calling. I stay away from every coach, but I think top to bottom, this season is a reflection of the poor job Kyle Shanahan has done in terms of managing an entire organization the last 5 years. And
Yep.
the reason it all falls on the feet of Kyle Shanahan is because he is the singular person who has the most power in this organization. I mean, the first things first, and I'm going to just start here because this probably ticked me off more than anything in this game because I think it epitomizes Kyle Shanahan's inability to see the entire picture throughout his time here as the head coach was the challenge. That challenge is not being talked about a lot today for reasons I don't know. That challenge to me was backwards pass bad. It was butt fumble bad on national TV. For him to challenge something that was unchallengeable and give away a timeout in a one possession game in the middle of a monsoon was pathetic. It was terrible.
Real quick,
I
for
don't
people
think
who didn't see it, can we just describe the play real quick, like what happened? It'd be helpful.
basically
So,
Jonathan Taylor gets the first down by about 4 yards.
mhm,
He fumbles.
mhm.
Then I think it was Zach Pascal who recovered the fumble, still a
Clearly
good three
recovered by the
yards in
Colts.
front of the first. Right. And
Clearly
he's
recovered by the Colts in front of the first down marker.
right. And Kyle
Obvious.
Shanahan bizarrely just challenges the play. And his excuse was, oh, the headset went out. Somebody said challenged, or somebody said it was a fumble. So I just threw the challenge flag. I wasn't really paying attention. You're the head
Somebody
coach.
said it was a fumble, so you threw it without seeing it. That's not an excuse, man. Dude, I feel like I don't mean to speak for you, but to me, it was clear without a replay that it was not something that needed a challenge. And I feel like if you were just dialed in and focused on the game in front of you, you wouldn't have needed the headset or the replay. It was obvious. It
It,
was obvious.
and he's the head coach, right? This
Yeah,
isn't, he's an offensive coordinator, so he's focusing on his game plan for the next position. You should be paying attention because a head coach's job is to manage the game and make
right.
situational
Yeah.
decisions. And that was a terrible situational decision. So I think that starts off there. And then you just go down the list about things that just pissed me off about this game. I mean, first off, they had that counter run play going the entire game, right? This is a wide zone team. And it felt like after the bye, they found a wrinkle, run gap scheme with Elijah
Right.
Mitchell. Though his touchdown, he ran on outside zone.
Right,
He
because
found the
real
cutback.
quick,
He has
because
not
if
found the
you're
cutback.
preparing for outside zone, you're gonna flow to the sideline very aggressively and fast. So what takes advantage of that? Counter. Anyway,
They were and
misdirection.
gap scheme. They were basically
Yeah,
taking advantage
yeah.
of the Colts over pursuit, and it was
It,
also a better
it was
suited run style
working.
for Elijah Mitchell, who has not been that as
Right.
effective running outside zone this season.
Right.
They
Yeah.
got away from that.
Yeah.
I didn't see. I'm waiting to see the
Why?
film because I don't want to make
Me too.
a
I
full
want to see the film too.
judgment on it right away. But I saw them get away from that run game for reasons I don't understand.
Hold
Here's
on. Let's
another
keep
thing.
going. Let's keep going. Play action bootleg. That worked all game. And they forgot about it for 2 quarters, came back to it at the very end, got a quick, easy 3-play touchdown drive. Dude, is there no one in his ear saying, Kyle, these are your numbers on play action. You should probably come back to it. Or
See,
do they not have someone doing that?
I don't even mind the lack of play action bootleg. What gets me and Eric Crocker and I talked about this on Spaces, and I think he's
I
also
mind.
talked about it on other podcasts. This is what really, really ticked me off about this game, okay? Because the one thing that the Colts proved in that game, in that ugly football game, is that you did not have to be able to throw a good deep ball to take shots down the field and have it be effective. Carson Wentz threw one good deep ball yesterday, and he got 97 total yards from pass interference against not a horrific secondary, excuse me. Indianapolis' secondary is horrific. I'm going to get to that. But against against a struggling secondary, and they were able to move the ball down the field. The Colts presented an 8-man box in front of them the entire game. The Colts, who were a zone team, had moments of man coverage. You have one of the 15 freakiest wide receivers in the NFL lined up on the outside. The corner in front of him, Xavier Rhodes, ran 4.4 when he came out in college. He runs 4.6 now, and he got hurt in pregame. So he's on one leg, and you did not test him deep once. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't have to be able to throw a good deep ball for you to just say, look, screw the game plan. We got one-on-one with Debo on the outside. Jimmy, just throw it up. Let's see if we can get a pass interference. Let's see if Debo can go make a play. We saw Debo bailed him out against the Lions. Debo bailed him out against the Ravens. That's where I think he just outsmarts himself. He gets too cute, and that's where you see somebody like Matt LaFleur. Like, sure, Matt LaFleur's success, a lot of it is attributed to Aaron Rodgers. But one of the best things Matt LaFleur has done for the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay offense is they have alerts all over their offense. And basically, if they see Davante Adams in one-on-one, they alert the concept and they get Davante Adams in a favorable matchup and they throw the ball to him. And Croc has talked about this in the past. We have never seen the San Francisco 49ers under Kyle Shanahan do what the Packers did when Greg Maman filled in for an injured Jimmy Ward in 2018, or do what the Dolphins did to Brian Allen, or the Steelers did to Jason Verrett in his short cameo, where you have a player that comes in for a short time and you just go test him. You test him and take a shot. They didn't test Xavier Rhodes down the field. That pick, even though it bounced off Deebo Samuel's chest or whatever, was a product of Xavier Rhodes not being scared of Deebo Samuel testing him vertically. And to me, that's a play. At some point, it is a play calling and game planning issue.
Agreed. Then let me just add one thing. There's a lot of ways that Kyle Shanahan was terrible in this particular game, but big picture, the turnovers again, 3 more. And this is an issue that I haven't really been thinking about, but Josh Dubow pointed out, Associated Press, since 2017, the Niners lead the league in turnovers. That's unacceptable, and that falls at his feet. Also, they lead the league in opponents' points off those turnovers. And when you wonder why they can't have sustained success, well, that's a huge freaking reason. 3 more turnovers. The previous game, they had 1 plus 4 turnovers on down. That's 5. And then the game before that, they had a bunch against the Seahawks. This is it seems like this is a symptom of a Kyle Shanahan team.
And they are those execution errors, they're coaching issues, right? This team beats itself the way the New York Jets should, right? The New York Jets have a rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator, rookie quarterback, and 0 talent across their roster, besides a few good young players here and there. That team should beat themselves. This is a team that has had 5 years of continuity with the same regime. It's one of the oldest rosters in the NFL. It's a veteran team. You're talking about they've had system continuity for the last 5 years, and yet we consistently see the same execution errors. This team beats itself more than any other team, and to me, beating yourself and having these execution errors and penalty come down to the fact that they're poorly prepared for these games, and that's a symptom of being a poorly coached team.
Agreed, but
also, this year they're
it's more than that, though. It comes back to what we were talking about earlier: the misdirection counter runs, the play action. If there is something that you do well on offense, that's your brand, that's your identity. And you execute that well. You need to come back to it and do it from a different personnel grouping. Do it from a different formation. Do it with a different motion. Dress it up. But every time you run it well, that's something that you execute well. And if you go away from it and start doing other stuff in the playbook, chances are you won't execute as well because you're doing things you don't practice. It's that simple. A lot of times, it's not just Kyle. It's a lot of offensive geniuses. They're like, I want to show how diverse my playbook is. That's great. But what you need to do is show me 6 or 7 plays that you run really freaking well and do them in a variety of ways, because that's how you execute. I'm just saying, that's how you execute.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
what you try to do, the worse you execute.
Last week, a lot of their issues are a lack of identity, and they were unable to find the identity. And I think the most frustrating thing is
an identity.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about an Indianapolis,
and they had it against the Colts, man. Misdirection, play action. You had it, and you went away from it. That's on you, Kyle. Sorry, I got worked up.
Right.
I'm not a
No,
fan.
no, no, absolutely.
You
We
had
should
it.
all be
You had a
worked up.
run
But
concept that worked. You had a play action concept. They should have worked together. You should have won that game, dude. You lost by 12.
but it's not. I think it goes as far as like if you just look at it on paper, forget
Yeah,
the fact of what happened.
yeah,
The 49ers are coming off a bye.
yeah,
The 49ers are playing at home. The
yeah,
49ers are playing on Sunday Night Football.
yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts have a fully injured roster. The Indianapolis Colts also aren't very good.
No,
Carson Wentz almost threw this game away in the first quarter, and the Niners still couldn't win this game. That's what, to me, they're just not a good football team.
no.
I'm not going to say they're a bad football team. I think they have too much talent top to bottom in their roster to call them a bad football team, but they're definitely not a good one.